Hello everyone, I'm Renown Zero. We are back again talking about Nick Comrade Calandra's hypocrisy on full display in Wild Side-Scroller's appearance. This is the individual who was siding with Alyssa Mercante, doing the horrible things that she was doing to people like Smash GT, which he's gotten huge growth since they decided to throw the hat in trying to cancel people, and more people are heading to his website to read articles off of it, which is great to see. It's great to see independent content creators getting their dues and getting the light shined on the stuff that they're doing. That's much better than what the crappy games journalists or the people that think they're games journalists are doing now. But we got it right here, saying Nick Comrade Calandra's hypocrisy on full display in Wild Side Scrollers podcast. This is the podcast started by Stuttering Craig with Blabs and I believe Melanie Mack and sometimes Yellow Flash. So we'll get into it. It actually was updated 1 hour ago. It says, first off, huge thanks to Stuttering Craig, Blabs, and Melanie Mack for an entertaining conversation. I also want to give Nick Calandra credit for taking the time to appear on the show. While some may view his appearance as pure narcissism, I'd rather try and give the benefit of the doubt that he, at least in theory, wanted to try to defend his stance on attacking Craig's endeavor of creating his own Game Awards show. So yes, Stuttering Craig, I believe he was from Screw Attack, and he was putting out a membership in order for people to vote on the real Game Awards, what he considers the real Game Awards, without all the BS and advertising that the mainstream Game Awards does. It's also important to note that Craig wanted to have me on as well to discuss Nick's attacks against me, my website, and my career, but Nick refused, worried that I would turn into a situation where he got piled on. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get on with it. So this is the live stream here. Appearing on the Side Scrollers podcast, Nick Calandra's second win attempted to address his ongoing disagreements and clashes with the gaming community, but ended up embarrassing himself by drowning in constant hypocrisy. What began as an attempt to clarify stances turned into a spectacle that somehow even further tarnished Calandra's reputation. His performance on the show not only failed to bridge any gaps, but also amplified the criticisms against him. And I think this is actually a clip. I doubt that. So yeah, it says Nick Calandra himself saying, since 8-Bit Eric has made multiple videos about me defaming and smearing me, let's have a look at what an absolute creep this guy is and his thoughts about women, shall we? Using all his own words. Sorry in advance for putting this on your feed today. It was a thing where he was talking about, little white girls, but he was referring to adults, like younger adults, white girls at a bar. I remember this clip. As a reminder, Eric runs a wrestling camp class for kids, including young women, and this is how he talks about women publicly online. He should be nowhere near children in any capacity, so basically calling him a PDF file without any proof. Happy to join you. He's made over a dozen videos about me defaming and smearing me and basically verbatim copying Smash GT. If these guys want to play, let's play. So, saying that he doesn't want to involve himself in the drama, then at the same time involving himself in drama. These guys hide behind "it's just criticism" shield, but they spend multiple videos crafting a narrative about people to create a false image of them way past time these guys got their due. But it's funny because all they do is use your tweets to make said videos. I don't know what false narrative you're claiming or false image that you think people are creating. It's the same thing where people believe I'm creating some weird false narrative of lies, meanwhile I bring up clips and tweets of things that people say and do, but somehow you could see evidence and weirdos will still claim you're lying. And that's 8-Bit Eric saying, because of Nick Calandra's smear yesterday, an email was sent out. Their tweets encourage people to contact personal lives and cut off funding. John's tough guy response, and Nick saying it's time these guys get their due is not a good look. I agree. Now, I will say that I just realized that the audio wasn't included, so I'm going to add that in right now so you all could hear exactly what he had to say.
The thing we don't make content about is gossiping about other people on the internet. People in your chat are going to point out at my Twitter to say that.
Right, and as I pointed out to you directly, like you talking about it on Twitter is no different than Smash JT or anybody else talking about it. And to be clear, what is it gossip or is it news? And because at the end of the day, you are a public figure. People will talk about you. Sure. You've chosen this position for yourself. Yep. So it's natural for people to be interested in what you have to say. So is it gossip or is it newsworthy? Are you newsworthy or is it just gossip?
I think it becomes gossip when people cherry pick things to make a video about what you say without putting the full context in it.
Okay, let's talk about cherry picking real quick. What about the Sweet Baby article from Kotaku that Alyssa wrote, where she totally didn't include the idea of why the Sweet Baby Inc. detective group was created to begin with? Like, that's cherry picking.
Now, what Craig is referring to is the fact that Alyssa Mercante decided not to include the fact that Chris Kindred from Sweet Baby Inc. tried to get his curator page, Sweet Baby Inc. Detected, taken down. Brutus's Sweet Baby Inc. Detected curator group taken down, as well as his Steam account. Nick Salandro's approach to the discussion appeared detached from the reality. It was baffling to see him downplay the increasingly politically active nature of game development in the past decade. For someone supposedly so entrenched in the industry, his apparent ignorance of this shift was glaring, to be nice. The conversation took a turn for the worse when Nick casually dismissed the loss of jobs in the industry, suggesting that those who oppose certain studios should simply make their own studio. His flippant attitude struck a nerve with many viewers, reflecting a lack of empathy and understanding of the broader challenges within the industry. One of the most troubling aspects of the podcast was Nick's handling of allegations regarding his conduct on Discord. Accusations of him seeking out personal information and believing unverified rumors were met with evasive responses. Rather than addressing these concerns head-on, Nick deflected and shifted the goalposts, refusing to acknowledge any wrongdoing or disavow those contacting people's workplaces. His lack of accountability starkly contrasted his harsh criticism of others for similar actions, almost as if he's unable to self-reflect.
When you say you need to go after people's sources of their income, what specifically do you mean? Because there have been people who have taken what you've said and taken that very literally and gone after people, made phone calls to people's jobs and taken things that you've said very literally, right? So for you being upset about the way we speak, hello, pot, meet kettle, sure. Right? It's because there are people who take things that you say. Should you be responsible for their actions?
No, I wouldn't say so. I don't put the creators specifically in chart in people. Yeah, sorry, tongue twister there. I don't put creators specifically responsible for what their audiences do,
which is true. Things that your audience does is really not on you because you're not specifically telling people to do anything. And honestly, no one should be condoning contacting. I don't condone anyone contacting people's workplaces because you disagree with them on an opinion or trying to dox them. Nick's refusal to disavow poor actions from his community nor criticize Alyssa Mercante for the same kind of selective journalism he lambasted YouTubers for highlighted a troubling double standard. If not for double standards, it's almost like he'd have no standards at all. While quick to condemn others, he seemed unwilling to hold his own allies to the same standard. This inconsistency did not go unnoticed by the audience, who were vocal in their disapproval through the chat.
The issue with activism when it comes to taking over properties is that they are amazingly explicitly leftist games, but they're made by leftists to be leftist for leftists. But Final Fantasy and Tomb Raider and Suicide Squad, Assassin's Creed, they've all been changed away from their original intent.
I mean, you just said it, most of the people that make games are progressive.
That doesn't mean they should inject their nonsense ideology into a video game that they're working on. They shouldn't be working on a video game that they do not care about.
So
if you want more games to be made that aren't progressive, people need to step up and start making their games.
Okay, but when you speak,
that's the thing, is people that are working for these companies are literally being fired if they express anything that isn't under this whole woke ideology umbrella.
People are losing their jobs anyways.
That's not a good answer. word, but Melanie Mack is correct. The problem with people like Calandra is their tendency to lump individuals into groups alongside fringe bad actors, yet when faced with similar scrutiny, often fail to respond with the same level of accountability they demand from others. When challenged about Melissa Mercante, a key activist in his circle, Nick's responses were notably weak and evasive. Overall, Calandra's appearance on Side Scrolls was a missed opportunity for meaningful dialogue. Instead of addressing concerns with transparency and accountability, he came across as arrogant and conceited. His failure to engage with the community's criticisms and his blatant double standards served to just reinforce negative perceptions surrounding him. Nick hopefully will someday recognize the importance of integrity and consistency in his public discourse, or risk further alienation from the community he quote-unquote aims to influence. At this rate, it's not looking good. And there was actually a tweet that was put out about the people that he's, in circles with, that they were not happy with the fact that he went on the Side Scrollers podcast and talked to people, because of course once you step outside the line, they don't like you no more. Your own group doesn't like you no more. Your little woke individuals don't like you anymore. Your progressive individuals don't like you anymore. When you decide to talk with what they would consider the other side or the enemy. So at the end of the day, I don't believe this individual should be working in games journalism if he's going to be supporting the nonsense that Alyssa Mercante would be doing. Nobody should be doxxed. Nobody should be harassed or stalked or anything of that nature because of an opinion you have of something or someone. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you all for checking out this video. I really do appreciate all the new subscribers, returning subscribers, new viewers, and returning viewers. If you do like this video, hit that like button, comment below what you feel about all of this, subscribe for more content, and hit the bell for notifications. Set the bell to all. That way you'll get a notification anytime I post a new video or live stream. And I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.